I was just thinking, I'm gonna just make a video where I fucking rant for however long it takes for me to figure out where I'm gonna put down my base and how I'm gonna move around the map. Like, I plan out my wipe, plan out my base location. Okay. And I'm doing this way like no preparation. This is the map I'm gonna play this weekend, and this is the map I'm gonna play this weekend. So, as a solo, very important. It may differ for groups, but yeah. Here's how I plan it out. Okay, I take a look at the map, and I check where are the player spawns. Okay, we got player spawns on the top. Okay, so I want to avoid this part of the map, and I'm gonna color that red. So player spawns are around here. So yeah, I'm gonna avoid this part of the map. I will not be building there. Personally, because I don't like the jungle. I'm just gonna make the jungle orange. Because for me, if it turns out that I don't have anywhere else to go and I can't progress anywhere, then the jungle is like, if this area is yellow, if this area is green, and I get nowhere here, and I get nowhere here, then I'm just gonna have to push up jungle. But yeah, then we have player spawns all throughout this island. So I'm gonna mark that off as red too. I'm not gonna be building here. And I'm not gonna be building top left because we have player spawns here as well. So okay. Now I've gone over the player spawns. And the reason why I'm avoiding player spawns is, in my opinion, self-explanatory. But I don't want my base location to be way too exposed, and I don't want to have way too many nakeds or bow kids or groups, and I don't want to have too much traffic around my base on wipe day. This is my initial thought. Next up, I will be looking at node spawns. Very important, in my opinion. And for me, area around outposts is a place that I should be avoiding. I'm gonna make it orange just because of node spawns. But I do really like these two. These two are looking very promising. So I'm just gonna turn that into green. So here is a very good map spot. Perhaps here could work. I'll see. Every green area is like, okay, here is, from what I can tell right now, a good base spot for a solo. We do have train yard nearby. And train yard, I feel like, is not a very good monument on wipe day. Many groups run it as well. So train yard is, in my opinion, a little bit orange. On the other hand, we have satellite dish, and satellite dish is very good. Around satellite dish, we have, I'd say this island is orange because the only thing that's really close is only satellite dish for me. And I don't like having to move through here, you know? So therefore, I'm gonna mark this area here as well as yellow. On the other hand, this is also orange because this is a little bit too close to player spawns for me. And this area is yellow. Also a little bit yellow over here. Too close to the jungle and shit. But I'm gonna go ahead and expand the green all the way to this area. I feel like this is a very promising area to build in. You can also check hemp, which I'm not really that interested in, honestly. No build zones is also a pretty big one. As you guys can see, train yard is taking up a lot of space. Same for satellite dish. So train yard is taking up here, all the way down to the river here. We have like satellite dish. Something like this, which honestly leaves which leads me to believe that the only really green area that I can find over here I'd say this is red as well, because there's just nothing around there. So honestly, the only area I can mark off as green, probably the best area would be somewhere around here for now. Okay, let's check off some other parts of the map. What about Dome? Okay, what about Dome? How's nodes looking around Dome? The node spawns are decent, but not very great. If I had to pick a green zone down here, I would probably pick somewhere around here, most likely. Is also a green zone for me. Very orange zone around here, honestly. Little bit too close to player spawns. Okay, moving on to the bottom part of the map. We have Junkyard Stone Quarry. Let me just remove the small monuments. We have Junkyard, which is a terrible monument. Very shitty monument, honestly. So, and like living anywhere around here is very shit. So, yeah. But we do have Arctic Research Base as well. And if I believe this is gonna be a very, very no-go zone. I also believe this is gonna be a no-go zone. And I can already mark off Sulfur Quarry. HQM Quarry is definitely gonna be a no-go zone. So probably like around here or something is gonna be a no-go zone. Because HQM Quarry is gonna be very, very ran by some type of clan. 100%. And then checking Sulfur Quarry down here. Anywhere around here is also going to be very, very big no. Which is why I'm also going to be marking off anywhere in between here as red. Just very not very smart. And anywhere adjacent to this, like here, here, and here as orange, okay? Because these are definitely going to be spots where clans are going to be living. But on the other hand, these two no-go zones, where there are definitely going to be clans, are still more fine, in my opinion, because, like, for example, anywhere around here could also be green. But I'm going to try to figure out where exactly I'm going to be putting up my base tomorrow. And for the rest of the wipe, let's see. So, what else? Let's go for the larger monuments. We have launch site down here, right? And I'm not a very big launcher. I'm not a very big launch guy. And we have a gas station right by. Puzzle-wise, okay. Puzzle-wise, I feel like launch site only really offers you a red puzzle that kind of sucks ass, and gas station offers you a green card. So finding BP fragments down here is going to be pretty damn ass, okay? That's not going to be very fun for anybody. Finding BP fragments up here, though, where we have a green card monument, we have a blue monument, we have a red monument. Within my green zone. That's cool. We also, up by Sphere Tank or Dome, have Rat Town, which is also a very promising monument. Which makes me feel that I will probably not be living anywhere here, honestly. Anywhere around here, I will probably not be living. This could be a green zone. This could be a green zone. So looking at this big mess, I'm going to be deleting a lot of this. And just taking a look at, okay, what green zones have I made so far? What are some good base positions for me? Just looking at this right now. And how will I be moving towards them as my wipe progresses, okay? So I will be clearing. We have a couple of these zones. We have, first of all, we have somewhere around here, good spot. Then we have somewhere around here, also good spot. And we have somewhere down around maybe here and here. So we have 4 very good central spots on the map that are, in my opinion, good. But I'm already going to be wiping out this one. Reason being is I don't really like launch site, and it's a little bit out in the nowhere kind of area. So it doesn't seem very fun. Therefore, I'm also going to be roaming down. So we really have 2 big, big juicers for me, which is here and here. Yeah. And for this, I'll probably be spawning up here and then making my way down here. Or I will be spawning somewhere either here or here, and then either make my way down like this or like this. So we have a couple ways of, setting this up. The only downside I can see is that Underwater Labs is going to be kind of terrible. Getting advanced fragments is going to be kind of ass. honestly. So I will probably be making when I reach tier 2. Okay, we're talking about tier 2. For wipe day, I'm probably gonna be living either here or here. Okay, but after reaching tier 2, I'm talking like day 2 of the wipe. I will most likely be setting up something, depending on where underwater labs are, which I can't tell right now. I'd probably say the biggest, the more likely positions would be underwater labs here, 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 or here. So having these base locations for main base, well, either one of these, we can get a mini from here, and we can set up. We can set up either a base, a smaller base up here, or somewhere along the lines of maybe here. And then we can use a mini to travel between these. A minicopter to any of these bases, and then we can have some kind of a boat, like a deep sea boat, like here or up here. In order to access advanced frags, that way we can make like a boat mini base, and then have a deep sea boat. And deep sea boat will be for like day 3, like Sunday, you know, or maybe Saturday. So tier 2 on wipe day. Tier 2 on wipe day. I shall only be focusing on these 2 spots. Mostly running monuments like this and these monuments. Only running monuments like here for basic beef fragments. Day 2, when we go on our tier 2 and we need a tier 3, I will be mostly working along somewhere these sides and then moving out to wherever underwater labs are, using a minicopter to funnel my way back and forward between main base and whatever, you know. And then I will be ending the wipe off by setting up some boats and then going deep sea with AKs and shit. So yeah, that's kind of my plan. If you enjoyed this video and if it gave you any insight on how I like to think, like and subscribe. This was a pretty simple video. I had to get something out. But yeah, this is my plan. This is my end and the plan.